allergies. Caught in a lockdown, no escape from the family.
Hey everybody, it's your mad mother of the internet coming at you with episode 2 of Covidiots. That's right, I found more of them because they're ever abundant. And as I stated in my first episode in the upper left hand corner, stupidity has no limit. This video is going to feature some politicians as Covidiots because A, I don't like politicians, and B, they've been saying some stupid shit lately. And some inappropriate shit. And some mistimed shit. But they're politicians. So what are you gonna do? I got a Twitter. I got an Instagram. I got a blog. So be sure to follow me on those things. Don't forget to like this video if you like it. And there's this subscribe button that's bright red if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm not going to tell you what to do with the button. And then there's a bell next to it. So if you're not sure about subscribing because you're new to the channel, just watch this video and a few others. And maybe by the end of this video, you may want to hit that button. Who knows? But let's jump into this video and see what kind of idiots we have found today.
Don't touch your eyes, just hand sanitize quickly.
Out of Oakland, we have these idiots. In case you don't know what that is, it's kind of like an impromptu pop-up block party where they do donuts. You see how close they're standing together? That's definitely not 6 feet. Either they can't count or they don't give a shit. And this is in Oakland, California. Supposedly. I'm assuming, even though, assumptions can often make an ass out of me. But yeah, this is Oakland in the middle of the pandemic with strict shelter-in-place orders. When the virus spreads in the Bay Area like wildfire, will they blame President Trump for this? Probably. Probably. Because they're idiots, they're short-sighted, and they have cognitive dissonance enough for the entire world at this point.
I'm just a poor boy, no job security. Because of easy spread, even though I wash my hands laying low, I look out the window, the cup doesn't look flatter to me,
Yep, we have the mad cow, and this is what she had to say.
In terms of the happy talk we've had on this front from the federal government, there is no sign that the Navy hospital ships that the president made such a big deal of, the Comfort and the Mercy, there's no sign that they'll be anywhere on site helping out anywhere in the country for weeks yet. The president said when he announced that those ships would be put into action against the COVID-19 epidemic, he said one of those ships would be operational in New York Harbor by next week. That's nonsense. It will not be there next week.
So this was a flashback. The clip aired March 20th. When did the Comfort arrive? 10 days later. She's an idiot and she's been highlighted because she has no clue how long it takes to get a ship ready to go anywhere. And anybody that has seen the sheer size of these hospital ships can just understand how long it takes to get the staff ready to make sure it's fully stocked, not to mention how long it's going to take to its destination. One went to New York and I believe the other one went to California. It takes a while for these ships to get to where they're going. And these ships aren't for COVID patients, they're for the people that are not COVID patients. And the other day, and I'll probably be reporting on this idiocy on another video, somebody idiot with a train hit a hospital ship.
Mama, I just killed a man. I didn't stay inside in bed. I walked past him, now he's dead.
And now we have Hillary Killington over here. The U.S. now leads the world in confirmed coronavirus cases out of the New York Times. And this was 5 days ago. He did promise America first. Hillary. Shittery. Bitchery. Now's not the time. I know you don't like the man. I know he beat your ass in electoral votes in order to become the president. But bitch, get some dick and shut the fuck up. because you have no clue what the hell you're talking about. This is not an appropriate fucking joke. This is not an appropriate fucking statement for this particular time, you little shit ass. And if Bill can't get it up, they're called vibrators. You know, dildos, battery operated boyfriends. Get you one. Shut yourself up in the room and shut your fucking mouth. I'm not defending Trump. I'm defending the fact that that was a very inappropriate statement. You're a dumbass. You're a fucking idiot. And that's why you're on my video today.
Mama, life was so much fun, but now I've got this unforgiving flame.
Now, we have no clue who this idiot is, even though this guy tweeted him out. He said, last moron who videoed himself licking sanitizer bottles was caught and arrested thanks to you guys. Share the video over and over again. Share this one and keep it sharing until this vile scumbag is also caught and dealt with accordingly. They're popsicles. Lollipops. You can lick on those after you buy them first, of course, because you seem to be the kind of person that likes to eat Tide Pods and cough on shit, because you're licking a pole. I won't be halfway surprised if you catch the Han Flu Shuffle because you're looking to pole. Honey, if you lean that way, I'm sure you can find somebody whose pole you can lick. But that ain't the pole you should be licking.
Mama, I didn't mean to make them die. If I'm not back to work this time tomorrow, carry on, as if people didn't matter.
Now we get to de Blasio. Why is he on my Covidiots video? Because he was on Meet the Press. When he was questioned about the epidemic that is, well, the pandemic that is spreading in New York, it was stated that 1/3 of the United States cases are concentrated in his state, de Blasio state, New York. It was also stated that 2/3 of New York's cases was in the city proper. I'm going to let that sink in, okay? Because they really didn't think this was a big deal. They were listening to China, who you shouldn't believe as far as you can fucking throw the goddamn country, because communists lie, they twist, they spin doctor, and they hide information because they like to make their country look like the best country in the world when their country is so full of shit it stinks from here. So, de Blasio wants Trump to use the Powers Act in order to send our military that is in quarantine, that is in isolation right now, to New York to help him with this crisis that is in his state. I'm going to let that sink in. He wants the military to help because, according to de Blasio, the military is the most efficient organization out there to be able to deal with logistics and medical emergencies. And then he lists, medical emergencies because they're so good at it during wartime. I am not going to shit all over the military. Our military puts their lives on the line every day to protect our freedoms. Every single branch of the military does this. Every single branch. Okay? This is going to be a mini reaction in the middle of this. So let's get to this.
The American government is not at full bore right now. The Defense Production Act, it's been activated. We've gotten no indication of any factory on 24/7 shifts. We've gotten no shipments. And the U.S. military is at its bases instead of at the front line. So respectfully, Governor, we cannot be gentle about this point right this minute. From this minute forward.
He was talking to another governor there because he didn't agree with what the other governor said. The link to this video is going to be down below. Veritas Foxy was very nice enough to link me this, and she told me to watch the whole video for context, which I did. Now, you see that he's sitting there doing this. As of today, we have 11 different plants producing ventilators now, including Ford, an automobile company. Okay? This idiot does not understand how long it takes to convert a manufacturing company from cars and their usual products to making medical equipment. There's a lot of things that need to be swapped out, not to mention regulations and guidelines that have to be met before they even start making these things, let alone making them. And don't worry, I'll get to Cuomo.
Our government, our federal government, needs to be in this fight instead of on the sidelines. I'm not worried about blame. I'm worried about saving lives right this minute, and I don't see the federal government at this moment.
So he's not worried about blame, but he's blaming the federal government. You're blaming people. De Blasio, the butthole, the idiot-o, the asshole-o. You're blaming people.
The point at hand, Chuck, April is going to be worse than March, and I fear May will be worse than April. So,
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Cuomo didn't want to offer a shelter in place because it would bring images of a nuclear war and mass panic through everybody. You people are more worried about political correctness than keeping your people safe. That's why you have the problems you have now. Hell, last week there was a video circulating on Twitter with your subways packed. If you were so worried about the spread of the Han flu shuffle, why the hell are your subways still working? Why do you have your trains still running?
bluntly, it's going to get worse, a lot worse before it gets better. But what would be progress? Real, consistent social distancing being enforced, people living with it, and hospitals that can function. People seeing that their healthcare system is actually holding because we have the supplies and the personnel. And I think that's going to be a national reality, Chuck. Personnel, medical...
Supplies and personnel. Keep supplies in mind, because the next one's a video clip, too.
Personnel are going to have to be taken from one part of the country to another as this crisis deepens.
How? You've got at least 32 states on some sort of either healthy at home, shelter in place, or straight up lockdown, because they have cases in their states. That leaves 18 states that either don't have a problem or that have a problem and haven't issued those orders yet. So how are you going to shuffle medical personnel from state to state, de Blasio? How are you going to do that when every state has their problems?
The supplies, the equipment have to go where the need is greatest. If people see the system holding, that will be progress. If it starts to collapse, think about that in the United States of America in the 21st century, if our hospitals can't function because our government wasn't there for them.
Governor Hogan, what would you give as a prescription of what does progress look like as we sit at home and wait?
Well, look, nobody knows where the end of this is or when the spikes are going to happen, but progress is going to be if we can somehow bend this curve downward and we can start to stop that spike that's going so we don't overload the healthcare system, you know, and people are just going to, look, it's very disconcerting. People's lives are disrupted. It's scary, and I understand people out there concerned about when is it going to look better. Just know that people all over the place are working as hard as they possibly can to fight this hidden enemy. And it's going to take all of us, not only the local governments, the cities like the mayor and the state governments, all the governors, the federal government, but it takes every one of our citizens as a part of this.
You see the difference between a Democratic governor and a Republican governor? The Republican governor, it takes everybody to stop this. I haven't heard him place blame once. I'm leaving this in here to give you guys some context. Like I said, the full video's down below. It's a whole 10-minute, 11-minute video.
And we can't stop it without them cooperating. But it's going to be a while. We don't know how long or how bad it's going to be, but it's going to continue until we can get it stopped. And we're just going to keep fighting it 24 hours a day until we can get it done.
All right.
Chuck, it's not true that people everywhere are fighting with all they got because our military is being sidelined and the White House is...
The White House isn't in denial, DeShitio. He's having press conferences every day. He's having meetings every day. He's got everything going because he's trying to get ahead of this, and he's trying to get everything rolling, to get everything where it needs to be to the states that need it. The military fights threats, domestic and abroad. The four major branches, the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, mainly work abroad. Come on. De Blasio, get your head out your ass. For right now, you can give yourself free colonoscopies. It's so far up there, nobody can see it. Nobody can see what you're trying to say.
In denial. It's just not true, Governor.
Well,
I respect you, but that's just not true.
Well, we've got military all over our state doing all kinds of great things, like
You've got National
humanitarian
Guard.
missions,
You do not
standing
have
up
the
food,
American
helping
military.
with
You hear what he just said? Let me back that up.
National Guard. You do not have the American
helping
military. National
humanitarian
Guard. You do
missions,
not
standing
have
up
the
food,
American
helping
military.
with
National
humanitarian
Guard. You do
missions,
not
standing
have
up
the
food,
American
helping
military.
with.
You fucking jackass. You fucking jackass. The National Guard is a branch of the United States military. How dare you downplay their role? Their major role as a military force is to protect the United States from domestic threats. And this is what the Han Flu Shuffle is, you motherfucker. They are a part of the military. The fucking National Guard is a part of the military. And don't you fucking forget it, DeShitsio. You're an ass. You're an absolute fucking ass, and you just proved it.
Hospitals.
Okay.
And building new hospital beds. And your governor in New York is doing the same thing, so maybe you ought to try to talk with him and see
I
if
have
you can
talked to him. It is not that not everyone is doing everything they could do.
I think
Governor. Let's be honest about it.
And I'm going to be speaking with the FEMA administrator in a few minutes as well. Governor Hogan, Mayor de Blasio.
And that's it for that video. Yeah, my blood pressure's up. Those people that know me through online interactions and personally know how passionate I am about all branches of the military. All branches of the military give themselves each other shit left, right, and center. It's a rivalry, okay? But when push comes to shove, they all come together for a common purpose. They are all the military. And that's the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and National Guard, DeShitsio. How dare you dismiss them? How dare you fucking dismiss them? Oh my God. You're such a fucking idiot.
Too late, my time has come. Sent shivers down my spine. Social isolation time.
Our last video comes out of New York as well. Wonderful Cuomo. Dear Cuomo. Dear Cuntmo. Dear Cuckmo. Dear Mayor. Dear Mayor. Oh, dear Mayor. Mayor of the idiots. Your governor is governor of the fucking idiots. For those of you that aren't aware, Mayor Cuomo has been begging, absolutely begging Trump for ventilators. Trump has sent some. Cuomo said they weren't enough. And then we find out that there's a stockpile of ventilators in New York. You want to know how we found out? Allow me to play you the video.
That is incorrect and grossly uninformed. The point is, we have ventilators in a stockpile, and we didn't send them to the hospitals yet. Of course we didn't. That's the whole point. The hospitals don't need them yet. The hospitals aren't at their apex. The hospitals have enough ventilators today, but the numbers are going up. We're planning for an apex, a high point in about 21 days. That's when we need the 30,000 ventilators, not today. Right now, we're putting them in a stockpile. So the point is, well, they're in a stockpile, you must not need them. It's just ignorant. Of course you don't need them today. You need them when you hit the apex.
You heard that? You heard that. I did some digging, and me and Diz got together and found it. You want to know how many this asshole has stockpiled? 30,000 ventilators stockpiled. For an emergency, for it to reach its apex. I cannot begin to describe how stupid this line of thinking is. You're blaming Trump for not having enough ventilators. You're begging Trump to send you more ventilators, and you're sitting on 30,000 of them? If you and de Blasio had half a brain, the two of you would only be sharing half a brain in between the two of you. And the brain cells would be dead. Because that's exactly what you sound like right now. You have stockpiled 30,000 ventilators for an apex pandemic event, and you're not using them? What the fuck do you think is going on in your state, Cuomo? 2/3 of the confirmed cases in the state of New York are in your city. But that's not enough for you to break open that stockpile and start using the ventilators? You make a box of rocks look like it has a PhD in science. Any kind of science. Rocket science. Biology. Chemistry. Take your pick. Because right now, you are the dumbest motherfucker on the face of the planet, in my particular opinion. And that's another video in the can. If you liked what you saw, that's what the like button is for. There's a dislike button down there that I don't talk about much, but it's still interaction. That subscribe button is red and you like me, well, you know what to do. And don't forget to hit the bell, even though it's as fickle as a pregnant woman in a grocery store. If you wish to submit a Covidiot that you see online, my DMs on Twitter are always open, and you can catch me here on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. I am going to start regular posting there again, because I haven't been. And there I go, touching my face. Ding! Touching my face. Until next time, my friends, question everything. Keep your hands clean and away from your face. And if you have to go out for those essential things, keep your distance. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!